writing an annotated bibliography on the design and structure of plantation homes, specifically the big house, in southern or on old plantations for my FYE class, The Meaning of Place. The first place I'll go to is the Discover website that Georgia Southern offers through their library to find information. I go here for the scholarly articles primarily in their full texts, and I will start with just searching for keywords of plantation houses and seeing what I find and click full text only and scholarly journals only. And it pulled up basically nothing. Oh, might help if I spell it right. Make it all the right kind of sources. And then I narrow it down to the subjects, and hopefully they will have architecture and different things like that up to help with my annotated bibliography / paper. And for the topics that I've selected are plantations, historic sites, land use, house construction, landscapes, in hopes that they might end up pulling up things that include the architecture and design. And I scroll through looking at the subjects of the different sources and find something that seems to relate, like the house construction. And then I download the full PDF. And I'll read the abstract and skim through the source and see if it actually contains information that will help. This really did not have any information that could help me, so I will try another source. I will also look for specific houses that were back in the Civil War era and were the plantation houses, because they offer pictures that I can show, and this one has a lot of pictures, so this could be useful in just giving a basis for my research. And then this source looks like it will be fairly helpful in some kind of way, and I will take the MLA source and MLA citation and put it in a Word document so I can keep up with it. it also will give me, if I need to come back to the source to print it off, a way to find it again. And then I go and look for another source. This one has architectural reform in the antebellum South, so that seems like it may prove useful. And so again, I will just skim through, see if there are words that pop out that could be important. And what I might also do, because this also has to do with agricultural and architectural, I'll download the full PDF, and it may or may not work, but try to search the document for specific words. If you'll let me. It's loading. It's just loading page by page. And this could provide a more or less, maybe not an opposition, but a different way to look at the houses, because this wasn't your traditional plantation house. Because it wasn't the type that had slaves, it seems like. And it was anti-slavery, but it still has the same look of that big white house and large land. Let's see if it's, yeah. I'm going to take down the citation for this source, but it may or not prove useful, because a great deal of it is for agriculture versus architecture. But it does have a little bit about the difference in the housing. And then I go back again. Here is another one that is a specific plantation house. But these typically go into detail about sources I found similar to this, go into detail, but this is a book review that does not offer a lot of information, so it is not a source I would want. this is Architecture and Changing Nature of Slavery, and so this source might be good, and it looks to be. And so again, I just skim the sources. And it has lots of pictures, which again can help back up or support the design and architecture of plantation homes. And this tells of like how, just like on the first floor, how he wanted certain rooms, so that's design. And like a bedchamber and nursery. And it even has a floor plan of his mansion. So this is a credible source that involves a great deal of information and images to support the information and provide, in case you're a visual learner, another way. So again, I will take the source, the MLA source, citation of the source, and put it in a Word document so that I can keep up with the sources. And here is a source that contains a great deal of pictures that a university has changed a plantation into an exhibit. And because though the sources are for the annotated bibliography, the overall presentation can be a paper or a project, poster board, like any type, the pictures will offer a great deal of help. And so again, cite the source, take the site of the source. And though I have 3 other sources and I spent 3 hours finding 3 other sources, I've now found 3, and I'll still continue to find sources because you can never learn too much. And I find it important to look through like the subjects of along the title of the articles or sources, the subjects, because some will look interesting and then you find their reconstruction, and that does not help with my going back to the time era that I'm looking at. So then we go to the next page. And it seems I have gotten through most of the ones that would be useful.
Okay. Um, I am doing a research paper for public speaking class. My research is going to be about video game violence. I'm starting off opening up Microsoft Word so that I can put in any websites that I get my research from. I'm putting in, I'm labeling web for inserting any sites. Now I am opening up Google Chrome, and my first search engine is going to be google.com, because that's where I usually go for my research. Let's see. Well, I guess I should save or title my Word document as video game violence. My first search, the keywords I put in is violence, violence with violence with video games. Search engine gives me violence with video games, youth violence with video games, media violence with video games, violence associated with video games. All these look good. I will probably look up all of them once I get through some of these, or once I look through some of these websites. I started off with youth violence with video games. Let's see. I do see an abstract. It's titled Violent Video Games, Delinquency, and Youth Violence. I'm clicking on that. Oh, it's currently unavailable, so I'm going back and looking for another site. I'm looking at another link from University Star. This is a student-run newspaper for Texas State University. The title of the link is Graphic Video Games Do Not Contribute to Youth Violence. I'm clicking on that just to take a look at it. This article is written by Ryan Pittman. His major is journalism. He's a freshman. Let's see. I do not see a date on this article. Let's see. Reception students. not seeing much fact or I'm not seeing much fact or proof in this article. I'm more so seeing Brian Pittman's opinion on video game violence. So I'm gonna go back and look for another site. I see another link with the title Violent Video Games Are a Risk Factor for Criminal Behavior. This Iowa State University of Science and Technology. Let's see. I'm going to click on this link, give it a look. This Iowa State University News Service. This was posted March 26, 2013. Title Violent Video Games Are a Risk Factor for Criminal Behavior and Aggression. Let's see. It says Matt Delacy, a professor of sociology, said that research shows a strong connection even when controlling for a history of violence and psychopathic traits among juvenile offenders. When critics say, well, it's probably not video games, it's probably how antisocial they are. We can address that directly because we control for a lot of things that we know matter. Let's see. He also says, even if you account for the child's sex, race, age, and the age they were first referred to juvenile court, which is a powerful effect, and a bunch of other media effects like screen time and exposure, even with all that, the video game measure still mattered. Let's see. The results were not unexpected, but somewhat surprising for Douglas Gentile and what was I? An associate professor of psychology who has studied the effects of video game violence exposure and minor aggression, like hitting, teasing, and name calling. He says, I didn't expect to see much of an effect when we got too serious to link with a criminal level aggression, because youth who commit that level of aggression have a lot of things going wrong for them. They often have a lot of risk factors and very few protective factors in their lives, Gentile says. What does this mean for parents? As if right now, this site seems credible, just because it's from professors who actually done research on the subject at hand. So as if right now, I'm going to copy and paste the web link, just so that I can look back on it later. Control paste. So that's going to be the first link that I have on my Word document. And now I'm going to go back to the Google search and see if I can find anything else. The impact of video games, media information for parents. Hmm. Video games do not make vulnerable teams more violent. I guess this link counters what Professor Gentile, what his point was. So I'll look at this link, www.springer.com. It was posted by Heidelberg, August 26, 2013. Title: Video games do not make vulnerable teens more violent. Let's see. According to Christopher Ferguson of Stevenson. Okay, so this is another article where Heidelberg, is that right? Heidelberg, I guess this is kind of his opinion, but he does speak of the research that was found by another professor. Let's see, according to Christopher Ferguson of Stetson University and independent researcher Shao Olson from the U.S. in a study published in Springer's Journal of Youth and Adolescence, found that playing such games actually have had a little flaming effect. Apparently, by their research, they found that playing video games actually has had a slight claiming effect on the youth with attention deficit systems and help to reduce their aggression and bullying behavior. States that Ferguson and Olson studied 377 American children, on average 13 years of age, from various ethnic groups who had clinically elevated attention deficit or depressive symptoms. The children were part of an existing large federally funded project that examines the effect of video game violence on youth. Let's see. So far, this article looks like something that I will use on the research paper. Mainly because the research that was done was from professionals, a professional researcher and a professor from a university. Is mainly where I get all my information from, and my credibility from professors that's actually done the research. Let's see. Ferguson and Olson's findings do not support the popular belief that violent video games increase aggressions in youth who have a predisposition to mental health problems. The researchers found no association between the playing of violent video games and subsequent increased delinquent criminality or bullying in children with either clinically elevated depression or attention. That's it.